Stop. I want you to feel that word. Failure. For 99% of the world, failure is a final destination. It's a paralyzing verdict. It's a reason to retreat, to shrink, to settle for the sidelines of life. And as long as you treat failure like a poison, you guarantee that you will never achieve the extraordinary life you were born to live. Today, we are going to burn that pathetic narrative. I've stood on stages for decades, coaching millions. I've helped leaders pull billion-dollar companies back from the brink. I've seen people lose everything, their fortune, their health, their relationships, and come back with a ferocity and a wisdom that simply wasn't available to them when they were winning. The ultimate truth I've learned from every setback, every loss, and every colossal mistake is this: failure is not an event, it is a signal. It is the universe's ultimate masterclass. And if you don't know the code to crack this signal, you are wasting every single lesson life is trying to teach you. What I learned from failure is the only thing that made me unshakable. And today, I'm giving you the 5 non-negotiable principles for transmuting pain into power. Principle of reframing: failure is never final. The very first lesson is the most foundational: you must obliterate the word failure from your emotional vocabulary. The moment you say, "I failed," you create a final identity. You give your power away to a label. You tell your brain to stop looking for solutions. Failure is not a person, it is a temporary result. It is a feedback mechanism. It is simply life's way of saying, your current strategy is insufficient. Adjust your approach. The elite understand that there are no failures, only outcomes and lessons. The power of the pivot question. The average person collapses under the weight of a negative outcome because they ask a victim question: why is this happening to me? The extraordinary achiever pivots instantly with a question that demands power: what is the lesson here, and what is great about this problem? Think about that. What is the lesson in the loss of a major client? It might be that your team structure was weak, or your value proposition was soft. What is the lesson in a relationship collapsing? It might be that you had a profound lack of emotional honesty. The loss isn't the failure is if you walk away without extracting the gold. You must implement this reframing mandate immediately. The moment a negative outcome hits, you are legally bound to yourself to stop the blame and find the gift. Because every problem contains within it a seed of opportunity equal to or greater than the problem itself. That is the law of the universe. Challenge: if you lost a major investment, stop saying, "I'm ruined." Start saying, "I have now paid a massive tuition fee to learn market volatility, and I am now far more prepared for the next surge." Principle of modeling: the fastest path to mastery. The greatest time saver I ever learned from my own monumental mistakes is this: you don't have to pay for every lesson yourself. The 99% are condemned to repeat their mistakes because they operate in isolation. They think they have to be the sole genius in the room. The masters, the true unshakables, understand the principle of modeling excellence. When you hit a wall, when you face a setback that paralyzes you, the answer is not introspection, the answer is externalization. Someone, somewhere on this planet, has already solved the precise problem that just crushed you. The 3 steps of modeling. Identify the master, who has already achieved the result you want, or, more importantly, who has overcome the exact failure you are facing. Find the top 1% who have been tested by fire. Deconstruct the strategy, study their physiology, their focus, and their beliefs. Don't just look at their outcome, look at their process. How did they handle the initial fear? What was their emotional state when they faced bankruptcy or public humiliation? What was the non-negotiable strategy they executed to pivot? Implement and improve, don't recreate the wheel. Take their strategy and apply it to your life. Then, apply your unique genius to improve it. This is the ultimate shortcut. Failure is your invitation to find your next great mentor. Your weakness is simply a sign that you have not yet found the right person to model. The biggest waste of life is paying full price for a lesson you could have gotten for free by simply asking a powerful question to a powerful person. Stop asking, how do I do this? Start asking, who has already done this successfully? Principle of conditioning, shattering the emotional threshold. Why does failure paralyze people? Because they have an emotional threshold for pain. The moment the setback reaches that limit, they shut down. They retreat. They say, I can't handle this. The core lesson I learned from every significant failure is that my emotional capacity was too small for my ambition. You cannot play at a massive level if you have a child's emotional tolerance for chaos, uncertainty, and loss. The conditioning mandate. You must consciously condition yourself to handle the weight of greatness. How do you do this? Create certainty through action. The only true antidote to fear is action. When you feel the crushing weight of a failure, your brain wants you to withdraw. You must do the opposite. Commit to one massive action, the hardest thing you have to do, and execute it with full intensity. This sends a signal to your nervous system, I am in control of my resources. Incubate uncertainty. If you crave certainty, you will never grow. Consciously introduce variety and uncertainty into your life. Take on a project you have no idea how to finish. Seek out uncomfortable conversations. The more you willingly expose yourself to the unknown, the more robust and unshakable your emotional system becomes. Link pain to inaction, pleasure to growth. Most people link pain to taking risks and pleasure to comfort and routine. You must reverse this conditioning. Link intense pain to the idea of settling, of wasting your potential, of living a mediocre life. Link massive pleasure to the feeling of overcoming a challenge, learning a lesson, and pushing through the pain threshold. Failure is simply the moment your conditioning is being tested. If you break, it means you need more reps. You need to increase your tolerance. Failure is your emotional weightlifting session. Don't run from the gym. Run toward the heaviest weight and embrace the struggle. Principle of purpose, the anti-wasted life code. The final, most profound lesson I learned from my own failures and the failures of the masters I've coached is that every single catastrophic breakdown was simply a realignment to a more profound purpose. When your ultimate goal is shallow, say, just to make a number, then any failure to hit that number is crushing. Your focus is self-centered, and self-centered focus is fragile. But when your failure serves a mission, when the loss teaches you how to better serve your community, your family, or your clients, then the failure is suddenly meaningful. The contribution equation. Your life's purpose must be bigger than your ego. The secret to living is giving. Failure, when viewed through the lens of contribution, becomes a gift. Failure clarifies your audience. It shows you exactly which people you are not meant to serve, allowing you to laser focus on those who truly need your value. Failure increases your value. The hard-won wisdom from loss is the most valuable commodity you possess. The person who failed and recovered is infinitely more valuable to the marketplace than the person who never dared to play the game. Your scars are your greatest assets. They are your proof of concept. Failure compels massive growth. If your purpose is big enough, the pain of the setback forces you to immediately seek the skill, the strategy, or the mentor you need to fulfill that mission. The mission demands your evolution. The only true failure is a life lived without contribution. Your failures are not roadblocks, they are the blueprint for the unique value you are meant to bring to the world. Without the pain, the lesson is soft. Without the setback, the comeback lacks power. The unshakable mandate for the rest of your life. You have the code. The waste stops now. The surrender is over. I am giving you your final, non-negotiable action plan. You will execute this every time you face an inevitable setback. Immediately reframe, stop using the word failure. It is now an outcome or a masterclass lesson. Ask, what is the gift in this, and what does this force me to become? Model the excellence, find the person who overcame this exact problem. Don't invent, identify. Study their strategy, their focus, and their emotional state. Elevate your state, change your physiology. Move with force. Breathe with power. Flood your system with gratitude for the lessons you just received. Control your state, or your state will control you. Recommit to contribution. Immediately link this setback to your greatest purpose. Write down how this loss will allow you to serve others with more wisdom, more empathy, and more power. The only difference between the masters and the masses is not the absence of failure, but the response to it. The 99% stop. The 1% adjust, attack, and dominate. Your life is defined by the moments you chose to stand up when everything told you to lie down. Go now. Embrace the lesson. Demand the wisdom. Become the master.